Hello, and welcome to yet another daily encouragement. And we are looking at Isaiah chapter 43, verses 18 and 19. Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. Don't let the past get in your eyes and keep you from moving forward. One person who knew this very well was the Apostle Paul. The Apostle Paul, before he was Paul, was called Saul, and he was a fanatic. He was a fanatic and a zealot for Judaism. He volunteered, and mind you, he was a volunteer. He went from city to city to drag out the followers of Jesus Christ and persecute them, to prosecute them, and to send them to jail and to do whatever needed to happen because he sincerely believed they were wrong until Jesus encountered him face to face. His life was a life full of acting against Christ, committing atrocities against his followers, dragging father, mother, children off into jail, doing all kinds of things. And yet, when the time came and Christ met him, he became a fervent apostle, the 13th apostle, you could say. So, he says this in Philippians chapter 3, verses 13 to 14. He says, brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of this salvation. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on. Forgetting what is behind and straining towards what is ahead, I press on. Paul likes to use a lot of athletic images in his writing. And this gives you the imagery of somebody who is running, maybe a sprint, maybe a marathon, we don't know. But the key in all of this, running, as athletes will tell you, don't ask me because I was never one, but athletes say, when you are running, keep your eyes fixed on the goal. Look forward, never ever look backward. I saw a clip of a man who was running and he was happy because he was out in front and he started celebrating. He pumped his arms in the air and he was happy that he was winning. And out of the blue, from behind, another runner overtook him and ran. He was so shocked, he turned behind to see what was happening and he stumbled and fell. Never look behind when you're running a race. Always keep your eyes forward. So Paul says, forgetting what is behind, straining towards what is ahead. And that's a very, very important thing. A very important thing. I suppose by now everyone knows about Disney, the corporation that owns every major movie franchise in the world. It owns Star Wars, it owns all the Marvel movies, a very powerful corporation. And it was built by one man, Walt Disney. Walt Disney was an interesting character. He began as a journalist, a newspaperman. And here's the thing, he was actually fired from his job because he lacked imagination. Can you beat that? Today, if you think about Disney, you think, whoa, what an imagination he had. But he was fired from his job because he lacked imagination. Disney did not give up. In spite of that failure, he did not keep his eyes fixed on the past. Instead, he pressed on. He moved on. He kept trying and trying and trying until one day Walt Disney Pictures came into being. Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, all of those characters came into being from somebody who apparently lacked imagination. Do not let your past define you. Do not let the past get into your eyes. You may have failed. You may have stumbled. You may have been the most rotten person on the face of this planet. But do not let it stay you. Do not let it sink you. Do not let it stall you. Do not let it get into your eyes. Because in the Lord, you have a new life, just like Paul. And with Paul, you can say, I am straining towards what is ahead of me, straining towards the call that God has placed in my life. He has forgiven my past, it is gone, I've got nothing more to do with it. Now I need to strain on for the future. And I hope that this word will encourage you and help you not to let the past get in your eyes. Amen.